What's up, everybody? I'm Samantha Najera, and this is my co-host.
Yeah, I'm Ernie Zuniga.
And this is the Bean and Chisme show. I messed that up, but that's okay.
That's all right. That's all right. It's all good.
So I have a co-host tonight, you guys. Isn't this awesome? Welcome to episode 20 of the Bean and Chisme show. So are you the chisme tonight? Or are you the frijol?
I can be both if I need to be.
Or the bean.
I can be both. Whatever you need me to. You tell me. It's your show. Whatever you need me to be.
Oh, well,
I'm
feel
here for
honored.
You.
I'm honored to be next to you, Ernie Zuniga, you guys.
Gosh.
Former news anchor for many years here in San Antonio, and now he has his own show called Pickup Lines, he has been next to like some amazing co-anchors in his life, and now I get to be here on the Bean and Chisme show with you.
I'm having a flashback right now because when I used to be at the TV station, the females would always be to my left, and so I'd always look over and have a co-anchor.
It was on
right
the left?
There. Yeah.
That is so awesome.
Yeah, for whatever, I don't know why, but they just always had me on my female co-anchor to my left. So I would always look over and there she would be.
Welcome back to the comfort zone for you.
I feel very comfortable. This is fantastic. This is a great little place you have here.
Thank you so much. And thanks for being here tonight. We're
happy
have fun.
to be here. Thank you for the invite.
Awesome. Well, here we go, you guys. Before we get started, we have some messages from our sponsors who make this show possible. New Start Program is a group of individuals. All right, you guys, we're going to keep it moving. Technical difficulties. Hey, do you remember live TV being like this?
Yeah, no kidding, right? Again, I'm having flashbacks, but no, that's just, if live TV has taught us anything, it's just the show must go on and
keep it moving.
Well, I mean, the viewers realize nobody's perfect, us included. So
I know.
It's all good,
right? Of course, when you're here, this is going to happen. Whatever.
Yeah, that's all right. It's all good.
All right. Well, we do have one sponsor here in the house that is going to join us later. It's the Crash Angels. Juanita Pelaez and Sasha Begum from the Pelaez law firm are here. Two chingonas that I adore. They're here on the show, and we're going to talk to them. And it's an injury. They're injury attorneys, but if you get injured at work, slip and fall, car accident, these ladies, you want to call them. You call 210-BRING-IT, and we're going to put the link to their website in the comments. So before they come on, you and I can chat it up here.
So if I fall out of this chair and hurt myself, I mean, they're literally sitting right across from us here.
Yeah. Are you like a banana peel?
Yeah. Okay. Well, it's good to know then.
Yeah. Or like if somebody hits you with a chancla on accident and like you bust an eye open.
Oh boy.
These are the ladies you want to call for those kind of things.
Very good. We'll talk to them in just a little bit then.
Yes.
Okay.
So Thanksgiving is coming up.
Yes.
And so.
Can't believe it.
What are you thankful for this year?
So much stuff. Thankful to be sitting here with you. But we've had this conversation about how crazy our lives have been in content creation and just kind of my journey in the last, year plus, but I always come down to just quality of life. I've got 3 teenagers. We've got our health. We're very content and happy. 2024 has been big at my house because our oldest graduated high school and went off to college.
Wow.
And then I think we have twins as well. They went from middle school to high school, so it's been a year of transition for us at the Zuniga house, but so far so good.
Wow.
A lot to be thankful for.
And your show, Pickup Lines.
Another blessing. And I mean, you were on with me not too long ago, and I will forever be grateful to the community and people who have just said kind things or thrown their support or sent a guest idea. And you know this. This is what I love to do. It's just have conversations with people. And I think I learned a little bit about you, even though we've known each other for a long time. When you were in the car with me, I mean, I still learn stuff about my guests and love the conversation. So thank you for that.
You're welcome. And I'm going to learn more about you tonight.
Oh, boy.
So now you're in the hot seat.
Well, I'm a lot more boring than you are, but...
Whatever. I know how to pull it out of everybody.
Oh, it's like 60 minutes or something.
There's a little chisme in everybody's life. You know what I'm saying?
Fair enough.
This is the Bean and Chisme show where the tea is hot.
Okay. We'll find out in a little bit.
Okay. Well, yeah, it is so crazy. Thanksgiving is already here. Can you guys believe that? It's a week and a day away. So what are your Thanksgiving traditions? Like, do you cook? Do y'all have it at your house? Like, what's...
Okay, so essentially for about the last, I don't know, 17 or 18 years, I worked Thanksgiving Day. when I did the morning news.
Oh, that's right.
I would always work Thanksgiving morning because I did the morning show. So
Okay.
done by 9, 10, 11 a.m., you can still be home in time to eat. And you get a comp day and whatever, and you can stay home and watch football the rest of the day. But essentially, to answer your question, I found a guy about 10 years ago who would come on our show named Les, who deep fries turkeys.
Okay.
And I will never, as long as I live, will never go back to the traditional
Regular
turkey
baked.
because deep fried turkey in peanut oil is the way to go.
Do you make it or?
Heck no. Heck no, I don't.
Okay.
I tried that once.
But you like buy it from Les?
So Les, long story short, he sells them for charity, and he helps support military members here in San Antonio. But he was on our show every year, and so that tradition now, it's probably been like 9 or 10 years now, and I will be there next Thursday morning on Thanksgiving, and I'll get 2 deep fried turkeys from him. Then my in-laws live in Pleasanton, a little south of here.
Okay.
We drive to Pleasanton, get everybody together at my in-laws, and watch the Cowboys and eat.
And eat and eat.
Rinse and repeat.
I love that. That's a great tradition.
Yeah, that's what we do.
Okay. So what I do is I'm what you call a sponsor, and I'm like, I will pay for the thing, but I'm not going to do the thing.
Okay.
And I'll like help you clean up. I'll help you like set up, but I'm not much of a cook. And the reason why I'm going to blame my mother, because every time I tried, she was like, I know, let me do it. You're not doing it right. So then I ended up like giving up. Like I didn't,
So you don't cook anything?
No, because God forbid I do something wrong. So I'm like, you know what? Leave it to the pros. But these, my tias are getting older. My mom is getting older. So they're going to have to just trust. Okay? like just trust me with the green bean casserole.
I was going to say, like, not even a side dish or a dessert or something? Okay.
They'll let me do that. Or, like, my mom lets me help her with the desserts. But, like, she won't actually let me do, or, like, they're like the picky tias that literally, like, the typical where they're eating your stuff. And they're like, pues qué bueno, mijo. Yeah, it's fine.
Judgy the whole time?
Very judgy. So I'm like, you know what? Next time I'm going to buy something from H-E-B, I'm going to take it out of the wrapper, and I'm going to pretend like I made it.
Where they're like, is Walmart open right now? This is run to Walmart or the Valero or whatever and find something over there.
Yes, but like I've never hosted it at my house. You
Yeah.
know? I don't want everybody at my house.
There's some pressure with that sometimes. I get it. I totally get it. So no, we go to my in-laws and we'll have a good time over there.
That's true. And then like all the babies fall asleep in that one bedroom, and then we all play.
Tryptophan comas, right? Yes. We're all in this like, oh, the Cowboys are on. Okay, let's watch. And then, okay, it's halftime. Let's go eat again. And yeah, that kind of stuff.
And we used to do coupon clipping for Black Friday. Back when you clipped coupons.
Really?
We would go and we would get all the ads out.
Let me ask you this. Did you ever wait in line overnight at a store?
Yes.
You did that?
I did that for like DVDs, like weird.
And you saved I did that one year, and I think I saved like $20.
No,
and it was the worst.
Hardcore.
I'll never get that 5 hours back in my life.
No, my mom is a diehard like couponer saver. So she's like, she'll know how to blend. Like, okay, at 5 a.m. Walmart, we're gonna get the TV, and then we're gonna drive to Target. We're gonna get all the pajama. Like, she had a system.
Okay.
And you didn't have a choice but to ride along.
No, that's true. So.
Yeah. But then
times.
Then the Christmas stuff was halfway done by the time Thanksgiving's over. So
yeah,
that's awesome. Pretty much. Good. Yes. Good
memories.
times.
Making memories.
I'm trying to make good memories for Ava, my daughter now. So
yeah,
that way she's not like, oh my God, my mom is so crazy. She didn't.
But now you got Black Friday, and you got Small Business Saturday, and then you got Cyber Monday, and then you got all whatever other days.
Yes, they just trick us. They've been tricking us all along. I don't appreciate that.
Perhaps.
But anywho, before we get to the Crash Angels, our special guest for the evening, we are going to kick it to a new skit that just released yesterday. This skit is from one of our sponsors, the New Start program, which is a program for substance abuse awareness. And really, it's a free community resource. So if you know somebody, men and women 18 and up in Bexar County who might be struggling with alcohol, methamphetamine, marijuana even, this is the program for you. And so I had a great time collaborating with AJ Rivas on this awesome new skit. So roll that beautiful bean footage. So much work to do, and have to do schoolwork, and somehow make dinner. I don't know how I'm gonna do this all.
What's up, Sam?
Oh my God, not you again.
What's up? You chilling or what? Hey, you have a long night ahead of you. I already know. And I got something for you. Mira, I got some goodies for you. You want some goodies or what?
Can you just leave me alone the one night I'm trying to relax? Then you're gonna invite you and all your friends too. Ugh.
I mean, look, I'm trying to keep you safe here at night. I'm trying to keep you up. Oh, look at me, I'm all prendido. Come on, you want some?
Right, because I need all of that in my life right now.
Hey, what's up, Sam? Life for the party is here. You need to just like wind down. It's totally harmless. Really harmless.
Whatever. Last time you came around, I ended up hugging a lamp. No, thank you. And you give me headaches.
That was a fun night. I had fun that night.
No thanks. All you do is bring me trouble.
Hey, Sam, like, I know life is hard, but I mean, that's like why I'm here. You just, I'll help you out. You won't feel no pain.
Don't even get me started. Every time I use you, I start to seclude myself. I don't talk to my friends. I don't talk to my family. All I want to do is sleep. And I'm not productive. Even my own gatito ran away because I stopped paying attention to her. Look, painkillers, I'm not the girl I used to be, okay? I'm stronger than all of this. I don't need you to get through these tough times. You know what? Every time stuff gets rough, one of you pops in, and I'm sick of it. I am stronger, and I'm starting to think I can do this on my own. I don't need you. Leave me alone. Are there more of you in here? Because I'm about to kick some ass.
Let's go over.
No, get off of me. Get. Oh my God. Somebody, anybody, help? Get. New Start program is a group of individuals dedicated to men and women 18 and up who may be suffering with substance abuse. So if you know someone who needs help with methamphetamine, alcohol, marijuana, and more, this could be the program for them. It's free to the community as long as you live in Bexar County. So if you know someone who may need some help, refer them in the link in the comments, and you can also go to the link in our bio. Alamo Biscuit Company is my favorite breakfast, brunch, and lunch spot here in San Antonio. They have the most unique menu I've ever seen. You guys, they take biscuits to a whole new level. Go ahead and visit my friends at Alamo Biscuit Company on Huebner. You won't regret it. Let's smash the stigma, you guys. SMASH is a group of individuals in Bexar County who help men 18 and up with sexual health resources, whether it's mental health, HIV testing, PrEP, lubricant, and so much more. We want to smash the stigma of HIV and sexual health because everybody does it. It's not a big deal. And of course, you can get help. If you are interested in joining in this free program, click the link in the comments or go to the link in the bio. Touch of Serenity Mobile Massage is my favorite massage therapist. Her name is Monica Rodriguez. And let me tell you, she has magic hands. Whether you go to her office or she goes to your home, she is mobile. And of course, they do couples massage, so much more. She is the best in town. You want to follow Touch of Serenity Mobile Massage right now. All right, you guys, we are back. And now we get to introduce our lovely guests tonight, the Crash Angels, Juanita Pelaez and Sasha Begum. Yay!
They're both here.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having us.
Of course. You guys are so awesome. So I cannot wait to show everybody the other side of you because they've only seen the videos of you. So now we get to do like a deep dive. The Chisme. Tell us everything, girls. Tell us everything. No, so if you guys don't know who they are powerful attorneys here in San Antonio. They have their own practice, the Pelaez law firm. And so, Juanita, you want to go ahead and kick it off and tell us where you're from? Are you from San Antonio, who you are?
I've grown up here, so I consider myself 100% a San Antonian. I started law school here. I did law school here. So, yes, I'm puro San Antonio.
You can't get more San Antonio than that. And Sasha?
Yeah. I am actually from Brownsville, Texas. And then I moved up here for high school and left for a really long time. I thought I would never be back. And then, San Antonio calls you back.
It does.
It has a way of pulling you back. I left once and I came back.
Where did you
I went
go?
to Phoenix for a couple of years for work though. But you're right. It has a way of calling you back.
It does. And now this is home, and I
Yeah.
couldn't imagine myself anywhere else.
Exactly. So who gets credit for the Crash Angels?
Ooh, that's a good
That's a good
question. We were gonna go with chingonas, but it didn't.
That was taken already or what?
No, we did consider for a few minutes. What was it? Las abogadas. The fox.
The what?
Remember fox something, and then we were saying in Spanish las zorras. We didn't think that
Oh.
would sound very good.
Yes. Okay, got it.
it. So then we decided on the Crash Angels.
I love that. And if you guys don't know, you see them on the billboards in San
I
Antonio.
drove by one on the way over here.
It's my favorite. You want to know why?
You don't recognize me without the wings, right?
No, I don't. I don't at all. No, but I love that it's two women on the billboards because you're so used to seeing a male-dominated industry, injury attorneys. You know what I mean? No offense, you guys, but make room for the girls,
No kidding.
right? So, like, how did you guys get started as far as coming together and making a partnership to have a law firm together? Because you guys went to school together since y'all were little, right?
We went to high school together. Yeah. So she was my brother's best friend, and we lost touch after she graduated. Before I did, we kind of lost touch, and we so happened to find ourselves in the same place in Europe at the same time.
This is a great story.
What? She was in college here in San Antonio. I was in college in Boston, and we both happened to be in Europe at the exact same time. Long story short, I was lost. First day, pre-GPS. I had just arrived. I'm sitting there like with a map, trying to figure out like where to go, what's happening with my life, and somebody bumps into me, and literally we hit our shoulders together, and I turn around and I see this like beautiful, glamorous girl, like
Dark
she was
scarf around my neck.
yes, very adapted to the European ways.
Smoking one of those long cigarettes.
Yes.
Were you really with the hat? The
She was
French hat?
probably holding a cappuccino. At least that's how I remember it.
goodness. I love the visual. I love it.
Very, very, very European. And so we hung out there that summer, and or for however long we were there, it was a couple of weeks for a summer abroad program. And then I didn't see her again for 10 years.
That's right.
And I came back into town, and when I moved back, and long story short, we met up on a play date with our sons, who happened to be the exact same age. And we were kind of at this, I had just started my own firm. She was kind of at a career path, and we just talked about what we wanted in life. And we've been together ever since, and that was in 2016. So we're going 9 years strong now.
Wow.
Couldn't
Isn't
be
that
happier.
crazy? Like
Yeah.
it's a God thing.
It's amazing and how it.
Yeah.
Yes, how
Yeah,
Pretty
it was
much.
absolutely meant to be.
people are brought into your life in
Yeah.
the most random. I mean, Europe, or you said
Yeah, we were in Italy, actually.
Italy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
of all places.
Yeah.
What about just practicing law? And I mean, you see some difficult things, I would imagine sometimes, but also some amazing things as well. Juanita, I'll start with you. What is it that you enjoy most about your line of work?
So I have practiced on both sides. I did defense work initially, and then I switched over to the plaintiff side. I have to say, nothing makes me happier than seeing my clients happy. And it's not often, and not every practice of law do you get to see that. Here I see it, and I get thank yous, and I really, really know that I'm doing such a good job for my clients because I see it in them, right? And so I think, yes, you can see a lot of difficult and tragic things, but at the end of the day, when I'm able to give my clients compensation or just relief, right? From all the trauma and all the expense that they've had to live, there's nothing more fulfilling for me.
I love that.
Same thing for you too, because I would think when people reach out to you, typically it's not for a great reason, or they're going through a rough time, and it's your job to make it right. And I would think it takes an emotional toll too.
Yeah, I suppose. But when you know that you're able to make sometimes a big difference, sometimes a life-changing difference for a lot of these clients. We get them the medical care that they need, that, a lot of our clients don't even have medical insurance, or they don't have medical insurance. And so they're able to get the best health care that they need. And so just relieving that burden and having somebody that they can call. And we pride ourselves on, I mean, when you come to our firm, you're going to meet with one of us. We're not just on the billboards and then you'll never see us. You see us. We're at the office every day. Yeah, I mean, that's the truth. And our clients come to us and they call us, and we pride ourselves on being an ear on top of it, to where they can talk to us about a lot of the things that they're going through.
And that was one of the things that you asked earlier about how we came up with Crash Angels. We were a little nervous at first because angel seems a little soft, right? But we can be soft when we need to be. But that's not, I mean, my job is to essentially fight for each one of my clients and demand what they deserve. So don't let the angel part fool you. I am an angel. My clients consider me an angel, but the other side doesn't.
Right.
So it's not a Charlie's Angels reference or
Yes,
anything like.
it was.
Okay. Because the first time I saw it, I immediately, I mean, as a child of the 70s and 80s,
course,
I was
right?
like, oh, I get it. I see what they did
Yeah,
there.
that's great.
Very clever.
That's exactly
Okay,
what we
okay.
want. And we have a jingle, and the jingle's very Charlie's Angels.
Okay, very good. Very
How
good.
does it go again? Crash Angels.
Injury attorneys.
Oh, okay,
I love
very
it. See?
good.
You know?
I like it. I like it.
So, for all the young Latinas out there watching, why did you become attorneys? And what was it that inspired you when y'all were little girls? And I want my daughter, she's here, Ava, to hear this. Girl puts up a good fight right now, okay? She can argue to the death for everything. Are you listening, Ava? Okay, so go ahead, Juanita. Tell us, like, what did you know when you were a little girl you were going to be? Do y'all say a lawyer or attorney, or interchanges? Like, I just wanna make-
Interchanges. I
okay.
think it. My dad's a physician, and so initially I thought I wanted to go to medical school. In fact, I thought I wanted to go become a veterinarian because I like puppies, but we all like puppies, right?
Right? Oh my gosh, yes.
And then I realized it wasn't for me. I think I got to physics and decided, no, this isn't going to work. And immediately I switched over and I decided to go into law school. And it was the best decision I could have made. I'm absolutely fit for it. I just knew that I wanted to help people, and I knew that words was the way to go. And so I tell my son all the time, and Eva, listen up. You can fight with words. And I learned to do that at a very young age. At Eva's age, you need to speak up for yourself. You need to defend your positions. And so it just was the way to, get your way through with words. And so
That's very powerful, because for a lot of us Latinas growing up, we were told to be quiet. Don't use your voice. So for somebody like me, when I see women like you up there like fighting and you're like, absolutely not, this is what's going to happen, I'm like, oh my gosh. I get tingles up and down my spine. I get all excited. So
For me, I was actually, when I was in high school, my dad and I went to dinner in South Padre. And on the way there, we were in Brownsville, and we were driving to South Padre. And on the way there, a drunk driver passed out in his car. And back then, the road to South Padre was a 2-lane road. And this guy passed out in his car, and he came at us. My dad, I still remember the accident, tried to get around it. The guy came in. It was a head-on collision. We were each going at like 60 miles an hour. It was a very traumatic accident. My dad had very severe internal hemorrhaging after the accident. He thought he was going to die. He was in ICU for about 3 weeks. It changed his life. And, it's interesting. It brought us together, because for the 3 weeks that he was in ICU, I was already in school here, and he lived in Brownsville, and so we didn't get a lot of time together. But for the 3 weeks that he was in the hospital, I was there all day, every day with him. And it brought us together because he started telling us, my father's a Holocaust survivor. So he started telling me a lot of the stories of his past that he had omitted because he thought that he was in a position that he was going to die, or he didn't know. And so he started, anyway, so that has always stayed with me. Also stayed with me about the fact that after that accident, there was his medical bills, there was this and that. There was a guy that didn't have insurance. My dad did. So it kind of taught me a little bit about that and about how there can be justice. And from then I just kind of knew this is, if we could help somebody that was in the same situation. it took me a long time to come back to that path, but I decided I wanted to be a lawyer to try to help people in precarious situations. Sorry, I still get a little choked up
No,
about that story.
Oh, that's
I'm getting all the feels myself.
no,
right
that's
now.
incredible because you're not just an attorney that wants to help people. You've been through this personally, so you know those struggles. Like that's very traumatic too, of course.
Yeah, it was very traumatic. So yes, I always knew that you want to fight for justice. You want to. I was very angry, and my dad didn't have that anger. You know, he didn't press charges against the other guy, which I totally respect. I didn't agree with it. You know, I would.
Yeah.
But to
I
think what he
you
had,
know.
I mean, some of the things he had to have gone through earlier in his life. I mean,
Yeah.
that's just, I can't even.
Absolutely, yes. So you know, I always tell my kids, and I always tell myself, we're warriors, and it's in our blood. And so, you know,
Literally.
it's literally,
we are
It is.
survivors.
yes.
So now there's no excuse.
There's
Go
no
clean up your
excuse.
bed. You're a
Right.
survivor. Everything is you're a survivor.
Oh my gosh, right.
Andale.
Yes.
Go take
Your
a bath,
grandfather
survivor.
used to walk a mile to get to
Yes,
school
right.
every day.
Like he literally did.
Literally,
Like, not
literally.
even exaggerating.
in the snow.
Uphill. Like,
got-
like I said, yeah.
Of course, you got no excuse, kid.
Oh my gosh.
That's wild, right?
That is
Isn't that crazy to
pretty-
see? And I think that these are the stories that need to be told because when you're hiring an attorney for those slip and fall accidents, like you want to go with people who are actual people, not just like a figurine of like a robot. So that's why I wanted our audience to get to know you. Like personally, this is awesome, of course. So yeah, so
It's remarkable.
you ladies slip and fall. So we talk about this all the time, and I've got the pleasure of working with them on some skits that we've done together to be creative about what they do and to get the word out of as far as who they are. But slip and falls, accidents, like car accidents, where we talked about the other party doesn't have insurance. What do you do? And then work injuries was a big one too. So what would, if somebody was out there right now, they need to write your name down and write 210 bring it, by the way. What would you say you guys are known for?
All of everything that you mentioned.
Okay.
Any injury where it's caused by somebody else, it's caused as a result of somebody's negligence. So any sort of accident, we had recently a case where a girl busted her knee, had to have surgery after she slipped and fell at a Airbnb. There's insurance behind that. People are always, oh, I don't want to mess with it. I don't want to mess anybody's day. You're not messing anybody's day. It's an insurance company that's behind there. And we've all had to pay for years.
That's right.
Hundreds
into
and
these
thousands of
insurance.
dollars to insurance companies. So when you're injured due to somebody else's fault, well, that person has insurance, and you should probably, take advantage of it, because why wouldn't you? You're going to have, injuries for the rest of your life. You might be dealing with neck issues, back issues, knee issues, whatever it is, and to not, recover because you feel bad for the driver or for the owner of the apartment. That's ridiculous, because it's not the owner of the apartment or the driver that hit you that's going to be paying. It's going to be this insurance company.
I see. Gotcha. So a slip and like even if you're slipping on a banana, but it's in somebody else's property, like we try to make light of these things. It's very serious, right? But sometimes I'm like, think of all the things, because sometimes as like when we get injured, we don't think of those things. Like, hey, you literally were due to like some justice here, like something happened. Especially we talk a lot about the uninsured motorist, and that's actually happened to me before, where I was T-boned really bad, but they didn't have insurance. Luckily, I can think through USAA, I had a policy. I didn't even know what I had. I just paid it. And most of us do that, right? Like, do you even know? Like, all
I
the
don't
things?
know all of it. I probably should double check. Actually, thank you for reminding me.
The one thing that I
oh.
tell all of our our clients is you have to get UIUM, because that's uninsured motorist coverage. So because like
Yes.
30% or 40% of the people in San Antonio don't have car insurance. And so if they hit you and you don't have UIM coverage, all the damage, your injuries, you don't have anything going on. Another thing that's a big problem is truck drivers. So truck drivers a lot of the times will be distracted. They have long shifts, and you've got a huge truck. If you got your little carcachita, like,
Yeah.
and get hit by a truck, you can get very seriously injured. And anyway, yeah. So those are the biggest injuries cases.
Another thing to watch out for is Ernie. He's got his pickup line show. I'm
right.
sure you could cause accidents out
Right.
there. So if
But-
anybody
Mira.
is injured there, because due to Ernie,
Look at
please
this.
call us.
Look at this.
210, bring it.
Oh my
No,
goodness!
like,
Great.
let
Look
me
at the
double
time.
down.
Wow, look at the time.
Let me double down on that. He can't possibly, because he drives a Lexus from Lexus San Antonio.
Oh, North Park Lexus. San
Oh, North
Antonio.
Park, sorry.
there-
Yeah, North
It's-
Park Lexus. It's a beautiful car.
It probably drives itself.
Have
The
you
car's
guys seen
smart.
the
It
car?
does. I was gonna say it stops by itself, and but that's what I tell people. Like when I do the show, I do not drive for that reason. I was on the
You
news
record
long
it.
enough to know what
Oh.
people are capable of on the streets of San Antonio, especially when the weather, God forbid, it starts raining or gets cold or whatever.
Anything.
And we know life happens and the most freakish accidents happen. And you think about what's the insurance implication here, or the legality of all of that.
Ernie,
So-
I've seen your show and I know you're not driving, but I'd like to mess with you nonetheless.
No, you're good. You're good. No, I get it. I get it. Totally get it. But there's so many attorneys all over the place, and I guess what would you tell the viewers in terms of when it comes to picking a firm, or what should they look for in an attorney when, again, life happens and maybe they're all scatterbrained and everything, but they got to make that call, got to make that outreach.
Ernie, Sasha mentioned it earlier. We meet with our clients. I don't actually just appear in billboards and commercials. There's quite a few that if you go to their office, you will never see that person that you saw in the commercial. You'll never see that person on the billboard. I'm meeting with my clients day to day. Every time that they come in, they'll be meeting with me. And so I think that is a huge advantage. I've got my hands on their cases, and I can tell them, I'm from my cell phone at all times. In fact, right now, I had to silence the phone because I'm getting calls from clients who have my cell phone, right? And so I think that's one huge advantage. Also, para toda la gente que habla español, hablamos perfecto
They're
español.
bilingual. They're bilingual. Yes. there you
Okay.
go.
We actually.
No, really.
Yeah.
They're not like us.
Se
Are you a
habla
coconut? Because then you're like,
español. Yeah.
yo
Entiendo
puedo
mucho.
hablo.
Entiendo mucho.
Entiendes mucho, mijito.
I understand
Muy
most of
bien.
it.
Yeah.
I speak a little bit better than that. I'm downplaying it, but still, I'm not like you ladies. You guys are fully bilingual, and you're able to assist people.
But another thing that's really important that we always talk about too is a lot of the bigger firms, a lot of the ones that you see out there, they have so many cases. They churn through them and they want to settle them quick. And that may not always be in the best interest of the client. They're not going to take the time to make sure that the case gets to a point, or that the client gets all of the care that they need before filing the demand or before filing the lawsuit. Or there's attorneys out there that don't even do their own litigation. They'll,
Oh, wow.
once it gets to litigation, they'll hand it off to somebody else because they just want to turn the case quickly pre-suit.
Right.
Juanita, I always call her the spicy one of the two of us.
Chiquita pero picosa.
She is. She does. She's a very good litigator, and so she's out there and litigates the cases. And so, I mean, it makes a big difference. The
Yeah.
attorney that you hire makes a big difference in your case.
Sure.
That
Very
is
good.
so interesting to me. So another question I had, because I know this has happened before, when do you call the attorney? Because a lot of people are like, well, I went home and then I was fine, but 3 days later, me duele mi espalda. Like, oh, wait, no, you were supposed to call like right then and there. Like, what would you tell everybody when you slip and fall or something happens, a car accident or not, work injury? Like, when would they call you?
I think as soon as possible.
Before or after the bleeding goes away? Like,
I think obviously get in a position where you're safe. And yes, call immediately. Get the medical attention you need and call as soon as possible, because the insurance company might try to call you. A lot of time they try to call you right away, especially when it's a really bad accident. They'll call and they'll offer you money up front, and you're like, oh, okay, I'll take it, right? But if they're offering you money up front, you better believe that there's much more behind it.
oh,
No,
did you hear that?
well, yes, and I think I learned the hard way many, many years ago. But also, I would think keep a documentation, right? Of if you have a medical expense or you
Absolutely.
go get checked out, just make sure you keep all that stuff handy.
Absolutely. Take
what else-
pictures.
And what also is getting pretty confusing now is we've got clients receiving letters from people. They're trying to what's called running the cases.
Okay.
And it's actually illegal. It's called barratry. It's unethical for attorneys to do this, but they're finding different ways to do it. So our clients have been receiving letters from some random organizations claiming to be associated with the hospital, and it's helping you pay your hospital bill and this and that. It's a trick to try to run the case to then sign them up with an attorney. all of that is completely illegal. You're not supposed to be able to, or attorneys aren't supposed to be able to solicit the business from somebody that they known that they've been in an accident.
What is it called? Barratry?
It's called barratry. That's right.
Wow.
And I think of vulnerable populations too, like the elderly who could be easy targets for this kind of stuff.
Oh,
And,
yeah.
And Spanish speakers.
and
they're-
Spanish speakers.
They're new to the country. They don't know. They don't understand. And they get the call and they're offering them the world. You know, we'll
looks
get it
great.
all. Don't worry about it. We'll take
Yes.
care of it. And they can
Yes.
say everything that attorneys can't. Right. So they can promise. I can't promise anything. I can
Right,
say,
right.
you know, I'm going to work really hard. I'm going to try to
Right.
get you the best that I can based on my experience. I know how to do it. But these guys will tell them, oh, no, don't worry. I'll get you all the money you need. I'll get you full coverage, everything that you need, and we'll pay your medical bills. And it's not true. You can't promise that.
Lies.
Right.
Wow.
Lies.
The shadiness in this business. So it's really about finding somebody who's trustworthy, look at the reviews, make sure that you know that you meet with the attorney in person. That they're not just a figure on TV. Like you guys are real. You ladies
See,
are
we
real
can
peoples.
confirm they are real
Yeah.
people.
Let me double check.
Living, breathing.
Because you know they have AI robots now. So
That's right.
like
We're not
RoboCop.
one of them.
Let me touch.
Yeah.
Just be like, let me peel off your makeup to make sure you're not. Hey, that's gonna happen pretty soon.
Yeah.
Not tonight, though.
Not
Not
tonight.
tonight. No, not
No, they're
tonight.
legit. They're legit.
And they're okay. So you guys are moms. How do you do it all? Because I know that I'm crazy. Like I have admittedly told people, like I won't sleep. I'm a workaholic.
Right.
I want to do 10 things at one time. I think it's my ADHD, honestly. But like, how do you ladies stay on it with all the things?
It's hard.
And do your children ever win any arguments against you?
Yes. Yes, they do. They're good.
Wow,
They
they're
use
good.
tears.
Manipulation.
Yeah, very much.
Okay, okay. God.
But wouldn't you agree that having Eva makes you a harder worker?
Oh yes, she saved my life.
Yeah,
Because who knows where I would be without her?
Yeah.
She gives me structure too.
I feel the same thing about my son. So
Oh,
it
okay.
isn't. Well, yes, it's juggling all the things that you have as a mom and as an attorney. It can be difficult at times. I will make it work because it's just my daily motivation.
I love that.
But work-life balance, I would think, in your line of work can be a challenge. I mean, like during the holidays, for example, like can you turn it off and
No.
enjoy it Thanksgiving?
I don't.
No,
I
you
think
cannot.
work-life balance is kind of non-existent for attorneys. And you know, some of the new attorneys that come to work for us, I always tell them this is not a job, this is a career.
Okay.
And I think there's a big difference. And I'm also a workaholic, and so maybe, you know, I'm not the right person to be giving that advice.
But still, like, hey, it's almost like a lifestyle choice, right?
It is.
It's a choice, and like this is what we do. So, if you were to choose something to do for fun, what would that be? Each answer.
Ooh,
And
I
you
know,
get to
I
answer
know,
that.
I know.
Go ahead.
Karaoke. That's my thing.
What's the last song you sang in a crowd?
Funny enough, it was Miss Independent by Kelly Clarkson.
Okay.
Like you know all the words.
I
Do you actually sing really well?
She does.
I don't know
She
that
does.
I sing really
have
well,
video
but-
of it. I will show it to
I
you.
mean, if you don't mind, bust it out, girl, for the world, if you want to.
Miss Independent. That's all I'll give you for tonight, but
Okay. No, I don't want Kelly Clarkson suing us or anything, all right? Coming
Have to keep it under 30
copyright.
seconds.
Yeah, you got to stop right there, or else.
That's pretty good.
Okay, and so karaoke.
I don't know. I like basketball.
Do you play it or you watch it?
I play it.
she
really?
definitely plays it.
I
So,
play it.
funny fact is on the billboard, we look like we're the same height. We're very much not the same height.
How tall are you, Sasha?
I'm 5'9".
Oh, okay.
Did you play in high school?
I did. I played in high school and I really loved it. And it was really funny because my mom would always make fun of me. She said, "You turn into a different person when you're out on the basketball court." Like she said I look too aggressive, so she hated
But that's got to be like you in the courtroom, I would think
Yeah.
too. Like you're probably
me. I use the
different.
skills.
Yeah, I see. Right.
So do you guys, and this is such a silly question, but do you, because what is that movie with Jack Nicholson? You Can Handle the Truth.
A Few Good Men.
A Few Good Men. Do you ever get to do, what are those called when you get to go in front of a jury?
Objection, Your Honor.
Yes, like
One of those.
Like a monologue type thing.
one day in my life, like I just want to do that. I just want to go to law school for performance.
Yes. You want me on that wall.
Exhibit A.
Yeah.
There we go.
Was he with his wife at that time or was he not?
I object.
Yes.
You know, that kind of thing.
Do you get to do that?
She's the litigator.
Yes, it's
With
it's
jury?
not so dramatic though. But
It's not, but with a jury and all that?
yeah.
You mean it's not like it's on TV?
No, no.
Oh,
No,
my
no.
I hate to
God.
disappoint.
Come
It's
on.
not.
Or the movies for that matter.
So can I go with you to like,
I'd
because
love
it's
it,
open to
Sam.
the public,
Absolutely.
right? When you, all of, right? Cause a
But
lot
you're
of
gonna
people-
have to be quiet. I don't know if you're gonna be able to.
My faces,
That's pretty
but
Never
my
mind.
faces
Nope.
will say everything. I'll be like, "Ooh, girl, he is not innocent.
And I'll be eating popcorn.
Live tweeting.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like, girl, did you know? I know
Oh
him, and he
my
was beating his
gosh.
girlfriend. That's so. I know our city's growing though, and we do need a lot of professionals that help other people get and bilingual. You know, our city is growing, and so I'm so glad that you guys. And did you pick San Antonio? You could have picked anywhere else, but you picked San Antonio to start your law firm. Do you guys plan on expanding?
If you ask me, I want to every day. I'm like, okay, now we got every time I go on vacation, every time we go to a different city, I call Juanita. I'm like, we're opening an office here.
Yes, 100%. I'm like,
We're
okay,
doing it.
reel it in, Sasha. Yeah, we'd love to expand, and yes, it's in the works. But our base will always be San Antonio.
More angels.
More angel
Angels,
wings
yeah.
everywhere you go.
Okay. You heard it here first. Maybe first. I don't know. You heard it here.
Right?
Now we know.
I want those wings to go viral. We're gonna make those wings go viral.
Yeah.
Right? They're gonna be a symbol, almost like the bat signal. Like,
You just
There
look
you
up
go.
and see in the sky. the
yeah, like,
wings.
oh shoot, these chingonas don't mess around.
Right.
I think we got to give away those for, party treats or whatever, those lights. So whenever somebody gets into a car accident, they could just flash it and we'll show up.
Yes.
I think that's the next thing
That's
on
the
our
next-
marketing.
Yeah.
Yes.
I love
we
it.
got-
I
I think
love
we
how
gotta
they're
work on
thinking marketing
Yeah.
and everything. Yeah, that's very good. Very smart.
And I just wanted to personally thank you, ladies, for believing in me and being in Chisme, because this is a very non-traditional show, as everybody knows. But we like to push the boundaries, and we like to think outside of the box here, because I feel like those typical advertising messages just don't work anymore. We're in a totally different new age of communication. And if we
Amen
don't
to
keep it
that.
real, the message will not get across, especially for the younger generation. So you guys are just so open-minded, and I've appreciated that about you, being like, yes, let's do the skits. So we did 3 skits together already. If you guys haven't seen them, we will obviously drop the links for those. But it's been so much fun, and we're doing more, and I'm so
are.
excited. We're doing more.
Okay.
Yeah, because,
Very good.
Santa might
Little
slip
teaser.
and fall during the gift delivery. What are you going to do then?
You're gonna call.
He might see you in your house, you know?
Oh wow, I've been bad this year. Maybe I won't get anything from Santa.
We'll talk about that later,
Yeah.
because we're going down the rabbit hole with
Oh,
you.
boy.
We're going to get there. Don't worry. Is there anything else, ladies, you'd like to tell the audience? Or is there any chisme we need to know? Any cases out there that are like, oh my gosh, tell us everything?
Well, we're supposed to keep everything confidential,
Yeah.
so
Until it
unfortunately,
goes
the
to trial.
chisme is gonna.
Until it goes to trial.
I'll be there.
You'll be there. That's right, and you can bring back all the chisme.
I want Ava to go so she can see.
Absolutely,
Are
I'll
kids
take her.
allowed?
Yes.
And
Yes.
Has
they
Santi
can go.
seen you?
Santi has been to court. He hasn't been. Yeah, he's seen a hearing, but he's not been to a full trial.
Gotcha. Okay. Anything else before you guys go? We can.
Just to thank you, also.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
you've also been an inspiration, and I think that we found you at the right time, and you are an inspiration for Latinas. So we're
Oh,
proud of
Very
you,
nice.
Sam.
thank
Very-
you.
yeah.
That's an honor to hear that from y'all. So
it was
thank you.
awesome for us to
Yes.
to join with you, and your voice and everything about it we think is really cool too.
Did you hear that?
I did.
Write it down, record it, make it for the history book.
Maybe you could be an angel or an honorary angel at some point.
Okay, if I have the money and time, I swear to God, I'm gonna get my law degree.
There you
There you
go.
go.
It's gonna happen. You heard it here on Beating Cheeseman. All right, well, we're gonna take a break right now before we get to Ernie. The tea with Ernie Zuniga. Thank you, ladies, for joining us. And again,
Thank you.
find everything you can on the Crash Angels. And it's going to be in the comments. Follow them on all platforms. And right now, on the break, we are going to roll to our skit where I ask you for more wings.
There you go.
Roll that beautiful bean footage again.
More wings! Give me more wings! Yes!
let's go, ladies. I need to see more wings from you. I need you to bring that inner diva out. Shake what you want.
Cut. Sam, we love the big vision and all, but is all of this really necessary?
I love the wings, I love the lights and the air, but this really isn't us.
The Crash Angels, we're about results. We don't frill, we fight.
Yes, we're about fighting the mean insurance companies and getting our clients the money they deserve.
For us, it's about the results we get for our clients. And those results, they speak for themselves.
Well, can we at least keep the wings? More wings! Give me more wings! Yes! Let's go, ladies! I need to see more.
Did you sing the? Did you do this? Did you perform the jingle for them?
No, but I might as well have.
I love it.
Mine would be more like
Like you always just drop beats and everything.
Crash Angels in the house.
Maybe in the new year
More
you
of a
can do
hip-hop
that. Well, that was a nice visit. And like you said, I think it's great to kind of get a little context and some of the personal story and everything, because you see the billboards or the TV commercials or you see them on the buses and everything. But to have them here for 10, 15 minutes, very cool.
Right? And that's why I think the shows that you and I do tap into people's other side. Because TV is different when it's like, sell your product, do the marketing really quick, drop the link. But this is like,
In 30 seconds or
In
60
30
seconds or 2
yeah.
minutes. Yes.
And now it's like, girl, tell me the tea.
No, I love it. I think it's great. I love you know how I feel about the long form interview format, so I think it's great.
Yeah. Okay, so I just want to compliment you. We're
Oh,
going
boy.
down. Okay, this is Ernie Zuniga, you guys. Welcome back to the Bean and Chisme show. I have a co-host today.
Let me get comfortable
But now
here.
he's in the hot seat. Do you feel the chair getting hotter?
Something's how are these heated cushions?
Yes. I just press the button, guys.
Okay.
First of all, the purple shirt with the flowers and the black boots. I would just like to recognize your outstanding wardrobe tonight.
Thank you, by the way. Can I give a shout out to this is the first time I've ever worn this shirt.
It's nice.
I got to give a shout out and love to my man Phil Zavala at Image Avenue Clothiers. He custom made this shirt for me.
Stop.
Look, it's got the easy on the.
Okay, I haven't made it yet in San Antonio then, because
No.
nobody custom making anything for me
But
yet.
Phil made me, and I'm gonna have Phil on my show soon. And I told him, I said, you know what? I'm doing Bean and Chisme tonight. I've literally never worn this shirt. I said I'm gonna debut it tonight. So thank you for saying, because he and his wife Rosie have been great. They're in Wonderland of the Americas Mall. They do so much for Fiesta. That's how I met them years ago through the Sashas and the Fiesta Ray Feo uniforms.
What is it called again?
Image Avenue.
I've been there. I've gotten something tailored.
I bet you have.
Yes. they've been
But
there
he's doing
forever.
custom shirts now, and I'm honored to be able to wear one of these, and I thank you for that.
Yes. And no, as soon as I saw it, I was like, oh, that's awesome. And the black boots tell
Well,
us
the
everything.
boots, the boots are just gonna. I had these
can't see 'em right now, but-
from my Fiesta Ray Feo. I can count on one hand, literally, the number of pairs of boots I've owned in my life.
Okay.
But I recently, I guess, I don't know, of my post-news career, I figured, you know what, I'm going to mix it up a little bit. And so I got some nicer boots for like the rodeo, and for Fiesta, for Rafael, we had to wear black shoes or footwear, if you will. And I walked in some parades in these, and
Oh, they're that comfortable.
went to Nyosa with these on, and yeah, so thank you for that.
You're very welcome. So you're a San Antonio boy.
Well, I grew up in Victoria originally.
Oh,
I grew up
okay.
a couple of hours away from here in Victoria, but I got here in 1999 when I started working at Fox. And I was a sportscaster back then, believe it or not.
So did you always know you wanted to do TV?
So as the story goes, when I was 10 years old, I was playing Little League Baseball. I was a
Okay.
Little League Baseball player, and my dream was to play for the Astros, and I was going to be a Major League Baseball player. And one day in elementary school, I was on the playground chasing girls and whatever on the playground by the monkey bars and everything. I fell down, tripped, right? I could have used them, actually, the Crash Angel. I tripped. Another kid came behind me, fell on top of me, landed on my right hand, and broke the ring finger on my
Right hand?
baseball throwing hand.
Oh, no.
So my Little League career was over right there. But then my brother was playing Little League. We went to one of his games one day, and the public address announcer was in the one that says, now batting number 5.
Yes.
Well, it was a
yes.
friend of mine. So I went to the press box to go visit this person. And after the inning was over, he had to go to the bathroom. And the bathroom at the Little League field was way on the other side of he didn't make it back in time for the start of the next inning. And so the batter came up and the microphone was right there. And so I went up to the microphone and I was like, now batting number, whatever it was. And I'll never forget this as long as I live. The press box was elevated, right? It was on a platform.
Okay.
And I'm saying this and I look at all the parents simultaneously turned around and looked.
They're like,
I was like,
"Who
what is
this?"
that? And that was the first time I ever like spoke into a microphone that I can remember. And it was love at first sound or sight and everything. And so I knew immediately, well, I'm not going to play Major League Baseball, but I can talk about it. So that's when I knew I wanted to be a sportscaster.
Oh my gosh. That is so interesting. I think, in talking to the ladies about like their calling too, like you
Yes.
just kind of knew at a young, how old were you when that
10.
happened again? You
I
were
was 10. Yeah.
Like, that's wild. And here you are.
Yeah. And it's just crazy how everything, worked. I actually had the opportunity years ago. I auditioned at ESPN. I got flown to Bristol, Connecticut. This was early in my sportscasting career, about 20 years ago. Because at the time, I thought that's what I wanted to do.
Right.
That's like Mecca, right?
Oh,
like
yeah,
ESPN.
absolutely.
That's where all the sportscasters want to end up. That's my dream. And I got they flew me up there. I had the town car pick me up at the airport.
What?
With, Mr. Zuniga with the sign at the airport.
How old were you?
This
point?
was like 20 years. I was probably like in my early 30s, 30, 31 years old. The whole bit. And I remember driving in Bristol, Connecticut. It was in the fall, and it was so cold and dark and gloomy. And Bristol, Connecticut's in the middle of nowhere.
Oh my
And I felt
gosh.
like I was on another planet, so far away from home. And I got there. That's the most petrified I've ever been in my life. I did a rehearsal, an audition on the Sports Center set, and I had to produce my own sports cast. And needless to say, I didn't get the job. But that's kind of one of my aha moments when I realized, okay, I don't think this is what I want to do with the rest of my life.
Okay.
And I told you I left San Antonio once to go to Phoenix, and I just realized, no, I need to be back here, closer to home.
Okay.
And so the opportunities came when the morning show started in 2006 at Fox San Antonio. I used to joke about morning show people in my sportscasting career.
Oh my gosh.
And I would say those people are crazy. I will never, ever, ever do morning news. Because remember, doing sports, I would go into work at 1 o'clock in the afternoon.
Oh, you had like the cush schedule.
And then I would, but because the games were at 9, let's go to the Spurs
yeah.
game. Let's go to the Missions game. Let's go to the Iguanas. You remember the San Antonio
Iguanas, the
Or,
hockey
or the
team.
high school football game. And then you do the newscast at 9 or 10, and then you go home, right?
Nice.
And I didn't have kids back then. You stay up till 2, 3 a.m., whatever.
Yeah.
Go to
and
bed.
Sleep in.
Do it again. I couldn't even fathom that schedule. But then started having kids of my own. The news opportunity came. Wouldn't have to work weekends, and
Here we go.
it made sense. And I thought, I'll do it for a couple years and then move on to something else. And that turned into 17 and a half years.
Oh, wow. 17 and a half years, you guys.
Waking up at 2:30 in the morning.
You're a San Antonio legend, though. Not going to
How
lie.
about that?
You are definitely a staple of
Thank
San
you.
Antonio TV, for sure. Like, you're one of those people that we all look up to, and you're a lovable personality, too. Like, they may not know you personally, but they're like, oh, my God, it's Ernie. You're just one of those peoples.
My late mother, God bless her, I'd like to think that and my grandmother as well, and just kind of the way I was raised, my dad as well, too, is just like, it's like I always say, I would always say, I would take the news seriously, but I don't take myself seriously. Right?
I love that.
Like, why? Because we've all been on the receiving end of somebody who thought they were God's gift to journalism or TV or
just in general.
or life.
The guy in the
And
corner.
That's no fun, right? That's no fun.
Yeah.
And I don't do well with ego. I just don't. That's like my kryptonite, right?
Yeah.
I just don't do well with it.
I would like to say, and I said this on your show.
Yeah.
But I had a very small stint. I worked at KSAT for a while, and then I had a very small stint at KBB News 4
Right.
as associate
Right.
producer. They just needed a contractor to fill in. And I would remember it was you, Karen, Yami was there
Karen
at the time.
Martinez, Yami Virgen.
But you were one of the nice people in news, because news is not, it's cutthroat.
Right.
They don't mess around. Everybody's cussing and yelling at each other to get shit done. But
Well, it's very competitive,
it's
too.
competitive, and everybody's just kind of generally like not nice. And you were one of the people that were like, "Welcome, yes. What do you need?" Like, and I was just like, "Oh my gosh, like he's so nice.
Well, I think part of it is, thank you for that, by the way. I think part of it is because I literally started in my hometown of Victoria, which to this day is one of the probably five smallest TV markets in the country, still to this
Wow.
day. It's like market 209 or 210. San Antonio's like 33, something like that. I started my first ever job when I was in high school was a weekend audio technician, right? Back when and you're too young to remember
At
this
radio
probably.
or TV?
TV, but they would play the music theme song on a cart, you know, on a
Dun, 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 dun.
yeah, but on a cart,
Oh.
not digitally. And I would it's like an 8-track, and you'd put it in the machine, hit the button, and then you'd raise
The audio up.
the audio board, you know, the different knobs and everything. That was my very first job. It was like, you know, $3.75 an hour. I thought I had hit the lottery. Like, this is it. That's it. I'm over. It's
I
done.
made it, you guys.
And so I started from that, and I would literally work my way all the way up until getting on air and this and that. And so I've always tried to remember my roots, and think of the people who were nice to me along the way and how good that
Yeah.
felt. Also,
Yes.
how terrible it felt when the other people were not so nice to me, and just thinking, I never want to experience that, or I don't want to put that onto somebody else.
Yeah. And you had every right to be at that point. For me, in my opinion,
Yeah.
you could have been like, I'm on TV. Leave me alone. I've been on TV for over 10 years.
Right. Yeah. No. I probably couldn't even fake it if I wanted to. But
No, it's not in your blood. It's not who you
no,
are.
like I said, it's like I tell my kids, it's easier, like it's physically easier to be nice to somebody than it is to be ugly or to fake it. And so I
Period.
just don't call me crazy, right? Call me, you know, I'm not a saint and I'm not perfect by any means, but I've just tried to kind of navigate life that way. And I figure more times than not, it's worked for me in my favor. And so
Yeah.
that's
and
what I
here we
choose to
are.
do.
Well, I totally respect you for that.
Thank
and
you.
I know the community adores you. And so you have a show now called Pickup Lines.
Right.
Where you do a show in your car and you get to interview local community leaders, business owners, nonprofits, celebrities like myself.
Yes.
Have your people call my people.
Exactly. She was very difficult, very demanding. Her
Oh my
writer, the
God.
list was a lot, but we got it done.
I wanted Fiji water only
Right.
in
Right.
the Lexus. So do you miss being in news? Do you miss having a co-anchor? Do you miss everything? Or like, are you okay now that you're like, no, I like this better?
Literally what we're doing right now is kind of feeding me, because I will tell you,
Okay.
I do miss this, right?
Oh, okay.
The act of doing a live broadcast, we haven't scripted this, right? We're just doing our thing with another person live, in this case on, you know, social media platforms.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I love to do. I cannot get enough.
Okay.
Now, obviously, pickup lines and what you do, obviously, we can do that now, right? You know,
Right.
10, 15 years ago, this would have been unheard of. It would have been no way.
Right.
But now we can do that. And so, you know, like I said, I have that itch, but now we can scratch it with these kinds of things. So I do miss, you know, Ashley Sutton, Brad Souter. You've been in that studio before. The people that were there are friends for life. And I drive by the 410 at Babcock sometimes, and I think about all the mornings and all the stuff that happened there.
I will remember you.
But thankfully, again, we have these outlets, right, where we can still do this. And
What if they called you tomorrow? Would you go back? What if they were like, Ernie, we need you. We need a new anchor. We're
Right.
trying. Like, would you ever go back?
So I've learned years ago 2 things. One, I never say never
Okay.
to anything.
I learned that a couple of times.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
The second thing is I stopped predicting the future a long time ago. Because I would say, well, by the time I'm 40, I'm going to be here. By the time I'm 45, I'm going to do this. By the time I'm 50, I'd stopped doing that a long time ago. Because I just learned it's just useless. I mean, I'm wrong most of the time.
Right?
But to answer your question, if they called or if a station called,
Any station.
and it made sense, right? And it made sense, and obviously the financial situation was there, and I was able to still do the things that I wanted to do, and you know, I could make a meaningful impact. Then of course I would take that call, and I would want to know more about it. But it would be, but given what I have now and what, you know, kind of, you can appreciate this. It's not a no-brainer. It's not like an automatic, like, yes. When can I sign? When can I start?
Right.
No, because I love, we worked very hard to get to where we are today, right? And this is very rewarding work. I mean, I don't think people realize how difficult it is, not to toot our own horn, but when I was telling you, people ask me all the time, how are you enjoying retirement? And I'm like, well, first of all, how old do you think I am? And second of all, I'm more busy now than I ever was at the TV station, by far. It's not even close. But it's a good, it's a grind. It's a good grind, right? And it's meaningful work. At least I think it is. And I would do it 365 days a year if I could physically do it. But it puts me in positions to do something like this with you.
Yeah.
And I love it.
I think it's so interesting when you talk about like, hey, I can't predict the future. You know, I'm not God, and I learned never say never, all those things like in this industry, especially because at the rate that technology is shifting.
Right.
I've learned to just roll and whatever you do, just be consistent. Just whatever it is, just roll with the punches, and we're just gonna keep going.
Because I mean, I didn't have on my bingo card, last year I would leave the TV station. My daughter graduated from high school, started college, and I literally and two high schoolers. I have twins, and I would pay for all of that and my mortgage and buy groceries with money from a pickup lines. Like it still sounds crazy coming out of my mouth.
It's been a year.
Well, it's been
how
a year and a
long?
half since I've been doing this format. Pickup
Okay.
lines, I started doing it 6 years ago.
Oh, okay.
But was it Juanita's brother, Manny Pelaez, was my first ever guest in July of 2023.
Online? It was online?
Yeah, I was always on Facebook Live.
Okay.
It was 6 years ago when I was bored sitting in my twins' elementary school waiting for them to get out of school one day. That's why I called it
The
pickup
pickup
lines.
line.
Because I was
Oh.
sitting in the pickup line at their school.
How did I just now?
It wasn't a dating show. People were like, "Are you trying to pick up women in
I
the
always thought
elementary
it was
schools?" Like,
catchy. I was like, oh, that's cool.
no, I
but-
was sitting in the
oh.
pickup line every day because I work mornings, right? So I could never my wife would take them to school.
And you
but I
pick
would
'em
always pick
up.
them up in the
and
afternoon.
that line is brutal, let me tell you.
You would get there 30, 45 minutes early
It
and
doesn't
sit there
matter.
and wait. So I took my phone out one day and I put it on the dashboard and put Facebook Live on, and people just enjoyed the conversation.
That is amazing. Isn't that crazy how something just so simple can turn into a big thing? Like look at now.
We're living proof
Yeah.
that it is possible.
Yeah, because me and Nina were just two chismosas messing around with live streaming.
And the rest is history.
And the rest is history. But I think there's something very meaningful for pickup lines too, because what we're able to do, we are blessed to have platforms that give other people a voice and the story. So for you, I know you interview a lot of nonprofits, a lot of businesses.
Right.
And that allows them to tell the world what they're doing, what makes them different, the impact they're making. Like this, it's a privilege, you know?
Well, and I've said this too. I wish I could sit here and say, yes, I had this business model and this is how I planned it and it's going all according to plan. Ooh. No, absolutely not. I just started doing this show. Like I said, Councilman Pelaez was my first ever guest. And I'm like, let me just go through my phone and I'm going to start calling people and then I'll get to Samantha eventually. And well, no. But then what happened was nonprofits saw what I was doing and realized, hey, maybe we can't afford to buy TV ad time, or I can't put a billboard up on 410 or get on a Via bus. But you know what? I'll help Ernie out, give him a little marketing funds, and he'll give me 30 minutes on his show.
his show,
You know Cleto Rodriguez.
Yeah.
So he's the one who will always get credit for about a year ago, a little more than a year ago, when I was having a rough time, when it just wasn't happening and I didn't know what I was going to do. What have I done? Did I make a mistake?
What? Ernie Zuniga
Oh,
doesn't
yeah,
have all
yeah.
the answers? I
Not-
feel like
not
you're
on that
such
day.
a-
I didn't. Not on that day.
Wow. You're
And
a
I was
human.
I was in a pretty rough place, and it was Cleto Rodriguez. I'll never forget, who called me one day to check on me, and he's the one who said, "You have to do pickup lines."
Dude.
And
Cleto.
and I will always be, because he's the one who said it, and he's the one that I sat with and learned about. Well, now I got to come up with rates, and how do you pitch it to sponsors, and then I got to get this, and then you're going to do it here, and you got to post this, and then
Wow.
and slowly but surely it started to build. But he's the one that really kind of kicked me in
Like,
the
you
rear.
got this. What are you thinking?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I love this story. You see, you guys, like, you never know what people are going through. And
No,
we
you
all
don't.
have self-doubt. We all have those insecurities, like, what's next? I don't have it all figured out.
Right.
And then you just made a decision and you rolled with it. And so here you are. Look at you now.
Yeah.
Co-hosting the Bean and Cheese. If anything, this is the peak of your career. I'm just saying.
like the arc it's taking right now. It's all downhill after this, I think.
Hey, I don't know. This is a pretty big high. You're gonna have to beat something after
That's
this.
pretty good. It's pretty good.
The
No, but
Emmys.
I followed you, and when you and Nina were together and everything, I followed you for a long time, and
Were
have
you
admired.
like, what are they doing? Like, what was your initial raw reaction?
Well, I told you this. Whoever the bean and cheese mid, like the play on words, like I think that was brilliant.
Okay.
I loved that. Right? Like I thought that's good. I like your sign, by the way. Like
Thank
that
you.
is
You
strong.
can't see it now in the shot.
That's
but
I'm sorry. That's the
you
sign.
guys
There
have
it is.
seen it
That's a
plenty of times.
strong. That's a strong.
Thank you.
I love the visuals and everything.
Thank you.
But and you guys kind of pioneered in some ways this whole thing because you've been doing this longer than I have. But the idea of creating your own content that's unique for San Antonio, and I guess like you're tailoring it to your sponsors and everything, and I think people slowly but surely in the corporate world and the nonprofit world, they're seeing that there's value in that.
Yes. Yeah.
You know?
It all, and just like you, we failed forward, but it was because there
Yes.
wasn't, they would tell us, no, you can't. Like if back 5 years ago, somebody said, oh, you can host a show and you can talk about topics that are relevant and you can be your own personality, I would have taken that job. But because
Yes.
they would tell me no, I was like, well, then I have to do it myself. So that's kind of how all
No,
these steps
and it's
started
like I told
happening.
you before too. I pitched these ideas to the TV station before,
right. That's
because I
right.
always thought in my head. Again, I kind of had like tunnel vision. Like, okay, I'm going to do pickup lines, and it's going to be in the studio, and I'm going to do it, and it'll air at night, or it's going to be 30 minutes, and it's going to have. And no, I didn't think about the social media space where we can go on as long as we want. I can start at whatever time I want. I don't have to go to commercial or pitch to the weatherman. This and that, and you can be yourself. Nobody's telling you.
Yes, I can drop F-bombs if I want
You
to.
can
every
if
now
you
and
want
then,
to,
you know?
and nobody's telling you what to say or when to say it, and all that. And it's liberating, right?
Yes, it's a very powerful thing when you can just do it on your own. And like for being in Chisme, not to make it about us, but for me, I wanted real raw interviews with like a transgender woman. Like to
Sure.
be able to talk about, okay, so what is it like? Or one of our first episodes, we interviewed a stripper from Sugars, no lie. And I was like, okay, how do you make money? I want to know the business model. Literally, and then I just paid her like $50 and she came on. She was so candid, but no TV station in hell would ever let me do that. No way.
You're right. You're right. But that's somebody told me the other day. Well, two things. One, they're like, we like that you get people from all over town and everything, and I don't think I've said no to anybody. Is because I do try to pride myself in. Somebody the other day said, well, I wouldn't be a good guest for you, and I said, well, wait. I said, time out.
Oh.
I said, let me be clear here. At the risk of sounding cheesy and a cliche, this. Everybody has a story. Everybody has a story. Now, not everybody wants to get on Facebook Live and tell their story. I get that, right? I
Right.
get it. But everybody has been through something, right? Either recently in their childhood and their whatever, they've overcome something, they've gotten sick, they've lost a loved one, a job, whatever, relationships. And I just feel I have found now that there's something so compelling in just kind of experiencing. It's relatable, it's compelling. And Lord knows in the news business, we've had a lot of negative, controversial things to talk about in recent years.
Oh, yeah.
It is
Plenty.
refreshing to have something like this is a safe place, right?
Yes.
Like you watch Bean and Cheese Man, you know what you're gonna get, right?
Yes.
And I kind of feel like that's the same thing with what I do. And if it's not for everybody, then so be it. But at least you know what it is, and we're not gonna apologize for that.
Right, exactly. And I feel like it also gives options. It gives
Yes.
people options as opposed
Right,
to like
and-
you only can advertise this
That's
station
exactly right.
and this radio station, this TV station. Like there's so many other shows out there now.
Yeah, but also too, people, digest this on their own time, and it's just so different now. It's like when I tell my guests when they do pickup lines, the live audience at 2 p.m. on a Tuesday is probably not going to be very big, right? Because people have stuff going on, but they love to consume it at night, on the weekends, when they're in the car, on the treadmill,
Yeah.
whatever. And that's where you know this. You're going to see your numbers go up and everything, but it's just part of. I mean, I don't have all the answers, and I learn from people like yourself, from like Cleto, from other content creators and people. I still have a lot to learn, And
Yeah.
it's a work in progress.
It is. And I think anybody in this industry too, like there is no such thing as a social media expert. I tell people that because tomorrow there's going to be a new update on TikTok and none of us are going to know how to operate it, or like a new app too.
There might be somebody that's done it longer than you, but you're right. To
Like
to
what?
say that they're an expert and all
All of it?
knowing,
No.
yeah, you're right.
We're all learning as we go with new technology and just new things. So yeah, so I just commend you for going out and doing what you have to do, but also like you're still very much living in your legacy of helping the community, and you're still doing what you love, you know?
We've been given a platform, right? And the way I look at it is, I've been on the air in San Antonio for 25 years ish, and people have been so good to me over the years. The least I can do is pay that back. And if we've spent years building these platforms and these audiences and these followings, and if I can use it to elevate a nonprofit or put a charity in front of my audience,
Yeah,
or
exactly.
help on a turkey drive or something for the holidays coming up, or we can MC an event and help raise some money for whatever. I mean, I get a lot of joy and satisfaction out of those things.
Yeah, no, and it's definitely a blessing to be able to continue doing so. So, again, you guys follow Ernie Pickup Lines, Ernie Zuniga on all platforms because I tagged you on all. Oh, he's got a TikTok too.
I do,
Okay.
yeah. Well, I got that for my teenagers.
I know.
Now, I'm not on TikTok as much as I should be, but
good.
I had to get all of them because to
At least
keep up
you're
with
there.
my 3 teenagers and everything. But I am working on some other. I've got another concept. I'm hoping, God willing, in the new year, if not sooner, I've got something else I'm working on that I really want to.
Ooh. Did we get to reveal it here on the show? Or not?
I'll give you a clue. My dream, and I'm going to say this with a straight face, since I was shortly after I was 10 years old, I have always wanted to host a game show. And that is still true to this day as we sit here.
As long as I get to be a participant, I will
Okay.
support 100%.
So there's your
I
clue.
love
There's your
that.
clue right there.
I love it. That's super exciting.
Yeah.
Okay, before we go, what is one thing about you that you wish that most people don't know about you that you wish they would know?
I think I just said it. As a matter of fact.
Oh, that you wanted to
Well,
be-
I've always wanted to host a game show.
That's not that juicy.
I told you I'm not very. Okay.
What is something with random, like your wife, only your wife knows, or like only your kids know about you that like, oh, snap, Ernie's a great pool player. I don't know.
I'm not.
Do you do voices? Like, do you have a hidden talent?
I used to. Okay, so I grew up in the 80s and 90s back when I can't do it anymore. Certainly not like I used to. But I used to. I love impressionists. I have a lot of respect for people who do voices and stuff. But I grew up with Saturday Night Live. Again, I might be aging myself, but like Dana Carvey, and they would do. So back in I used to do a little sketch show when I was in high school many moons ago. And that back then, Bill Clinton was president. And I used to say back then, and he would do this thing with his thumb. And he was the president of the United States back then. And then George, I can't do it like I used to, but George W. I used to be like George W. Herbert Walker Bush. And then Ronald Reagan was like, Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall. I used to do impersonations of presidents and
I'm
voices
impressed.
and stuff like that. Back
My
in the day.
fellow Americans, can you do Donald Trump?
No, I cannot. And I'm not just saying that because of the political climate. I cannot do
I wanna
Joe
do it, but
Biden.
I'm gonna mess it up.
I cannot. I say this only because this is true. People have told me that I look like Barack Obama, but in the past, I swear to you, I'm not just saying this. I have been compared to. I was at the Alamo Dome one day. This was years ago, and the city council had their picture on the wall at the Alamo Dome, and somebody thought I was Julian Castro when he was mayor, and so they came up to me and thought I was Julian Castro. Right.
I was gonna say pre-gray,
Now, mind you, yes, I didn't have this much
pre-silver
gray hair.
fox.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
I've been called a few things over the years, but that was one where they thought I was the mayor of San Antonio. I said, no, thank you.
Hey, but you
I don't-
carry that aura about
I guess
you.
so, apparently.
There you go.
Apparently
I
I
love
do.
it.
So, yeah, I loved doing voices and stuff, and
I was impressed. You did a pretty killer.
and then I used to. She talked about was it Juanita talked about karaoke many years ago
okay.
when I first got to San Antonio. I did karaoke as well, and I used to I used to sing the Bee Gees. That was I would do Staying Alive. I would, every once in a while I can get up,
Wow, I heard that high pitch.
Barry Gibb. I can't.
Wow, very good.
It's been a long time, but
I'm impressed.
so those are some just very odd, quirky things that I do to entertain myself.
Because you've been
back
in
the
news
day.
for so long, and that's the thing I love about being in Chisme. I'm like, no, we can't do tonight at 9.
No.
The latest. Like, I want to see you singing the Bee Gees.
People also say too, like, oh, you sound the same like you did when you were on TV. And I was like, yes, I didn't have the ability or the mental capacity to change my voice when I was like, I didn't make my
didn't
voice
have a
deeper when I
hardcore
was
anchor
on.
voice.
No, I wasn't Ron Burgundy, stay classy, San Antonio. No, the way I'm speaking to you right now is the same way I spoke for 25 years when I was on Fox San Antonio.
Which is very different for a lot of news anchors.
Well, I don't want to speak. I don't want to mention any names, but there's
Yeah. Okay.
So I get it. Well, it's just the viewers are not dumb, right? I mean, they know.
That's why
they
I don't
can
think
see
it
through that
works
stuff.
anymore. It
So
doesn't
no.
work
So
anymore.
like I said, I had enough to worry about trying to do the news. So this is what you see is what you get.
I do Hood Rat News. You have to do a Hood Rat News with me. Tonight on Hood Rat News, Ernie Zuniga
Yes.
breaking records across
Oh
the
my gosh.
country for all of the chisme he has in his car. And karaoke.
If that car could talk.
I know, oh my God.
Things
We
it would
need to do
say.
a Hood Rat News report
Okay.
together.
Well,
That's going to
I'll
happen.
have my people call your people.
Okay, perfect. Well, thank you so much for co-hosting with me today.
Loved it.
Oh my gosh, we have to do this again. Any message you like to tell everybody out there? Of course, follow Ernie and pickup lines, but
No, I hope everybody has a fantastic holiday season. And I think I speak for Samantha when I say thank you for supporting what we do. San Antonio is such a giving, supportive, philanthropic city that just shows up for people like you and me, and I'll be eternally grateful. And so it's like I said, the day I signed off on the air at Fox, I said 2 things. 1, I said, I'm around and I'm not leaving San Antonio.
okay.
And 2, I said, I'm going to find a camera and I'm going to tell stories and I'm going to continue to be me. And
We love you.
Here we are.
We love you so much.
so thank you.
Of course.
And
very
congrats on all your success as well. Keep doing your thing.
well. Thank you. We're all going up together. So that's what we do. Well, thank you
Si
so
se
much.
puede.
Si se
Sorry.
puede, of course. Okay.
Sorry.
Before we head out and wrap it up, thank you so much to our sponsors again for supporting Beating Chisme. Thank you, Ernie, for being my co-host tonight. Our last episode of the year, you guys, is December the 11th in 3 weeks.
Oh my God.
I'm not ready. But on behalf of everybody here at Beating Chisme, I also wanted to say a happy Thanksgiving. We are so grateful for you. Without you, we don't have a show. And without your support, like Ernie said, everybody in San Antonio and, of course, in Texas really has been so
Yes.
generous. And so we are grateful for you. We're definitely not, unaware of the privilege that we have here.
That's right.
So it's an honor to be here with you guys tonight. So we'll see you December the 11th. And if you want to sponsor, let us know. Pick up lines too.
Exactly.
Y'all have a good night.
Thanks.
Bye.